Chapter 20, The Revelation. Max, Kit, Zeke, Jet, and Argo had been confined in the cold, dark dungeon beneath King Ben's castle for what felt like an eternity. Their spirits remained unbroken, but their situation had become increasingly dire. They knew that Dave was out there, somewhere in the foggy forest, on a perilous mission to retrieve another ancient crystal. Inside the dungeon, Max was tinkering with a device that Kit had crafted, a device specifically designed to locate ancient crystals. It had been their key to finding the crystals they had pursued so far. As he fiddled with the device, Max's eyes widened in realization. "Wait, guys," he exclaimed, his voice filled with urgency. "There's another crystal on here." Kit rushed over, her curiosity piqued. "Another crystal? Where is it?" she asked, her voice trembling with excitement. Max hesitated for a moment before delivering the unexpected news. "Well, it's in the Bulldog Kingdom." A collective gasp filled the dungeon. "The Bulldog Kingdom!" Zeke exclaimed, his voice laced with incredulity and concern. The mere mention of the kingdom sent shivers down their spines. Kit nodded solemnly. "Yes, but here's the catch, it's located outside the castle, in the town." Hope flickered in their eyes. If they could retrieve this crystal from the Bulldog Kingdom, it might be a turning point in their quest to stop King Ben. With newfound determination, the members of the Order of the Pug began to hatch a plan for their escape from the dungeon. They used their combined skills and resourcefulness to overcome the obstacles and challenges that stood between them and their freedom. Hours passed as they worked tirelessly, and finally, they found a hidden passage that led them out of the dungeon and into the dark corridors of King Ben's castle. They moved stealthily, their hearts pounding with anticipation. Their quest to retrieve the crystal from the Bulldog Kingdom had taken an unexpected turn, and they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The fate of Pugland hung in the balance, and the Order of the Pug was prepared to do whatever it took to save their homeland. Chapter 21, The Bulldog Town. Max, Kit, Zeke, Jet, and Argo had managed to escape the confines of King Ben's castle, and they now found themselves on the outskirts of the Bulldog Kingdom. The town lay before them, bustling with Bulldog residents going about their daily lives. As they observed the town from a hidden vantage point, Max held Kit's crystal locating device. The device indicated that the ancient crystal was indeed somewhere within the town. Its faint glow served as a beacon, guiding them toward their goal. Kit whispered to the group, her voice filled with determination. "We need to tread carefully. The Bulldog Kingdom is unlike any place we've been before. We have to blend in and find a way to retrieve the crystal without drawing attention to ourselves." With that, they donned disguises and attempted to blend in with the local Bulldog population. Max, Zeke, and Jet adopted Bulldog attire, while Kit and Argo concealed their distinctive features as best as they could. They strolled through the town's cobblestone streets, observing the Bulldog's unique culture and customs. It was a stark contrast to the vibrant and friendly atmosphere of Pugland, and a palpable tension hung in the air. Kit consulted the crystal locating device, leading them through the winding streets and narrow alleys. The closer they got to the crystal's location, the more aware they became of the ever-watchful Bulldog guards. Finally, the device's glow became more intense, indicating that the crystal was nearby. They found themselves standing in a quiet, dimly lit alleyway, away from the prying eyes of the Bulldogs. It was the perfect moment to discuss their plan. Max looked at the device and whispered to the group, "We're close, and it seems the crystal is hidden somewhere around here." "Kit, can you tell us anything more about its exact location?" Kit examined the device's readings carefully. "It's definitely close by, but I can't pinpoint the exact spot. We'll need to search this area carefully. Keep your eyes peeled for anything unusual or out of place." With determination in their hearts and the ancient crystal almost within their grasp, the Order of the Pug prepared to explore the Bulldog Town's mysteries and challenges to retrieve the crystal. Chapter 22, The Shadowed Challenge. In the eerie clearing bathed in an otherworldly light, Dave and the Pug faced an unexpected confrontation with the shadowed figure. The enigmatic entity swirled and coalesced, its form shifting like mist and darkness combined. It radiated an aura of mystery and danger. Dave's heart pounded in his chest as he resisted the instinct to make direct eye contact with the shadowed figure. The Pug's voice was barely a whisper as they shared a plan. "We need to think fast. We can't look directly at it, but we need to retrieve the ancient crystal." The ancient crystal lay at the base of the tall, ancient tree, its ethereal radiance contrasting with the enigmatic presence of the shadowed figure. It beckoned to them, its significance clear. Their quest to save Pugland depended on acquiring this crystal. Dave, filled with determination and guided by the pug's wisdom, took a deep breath. We need to distract it somehow, without looking at it directly. The pug nodded in agreement, their eyes never leaving the shadowed figure. I have an idea. You stay here, and I'll try to draw its attention. Once it's focused on me, you can grab the crystal and retreat. Dave reluctantly agreed, knowing that this was their best chance to retrieve the crystal without succumbing to the mysterious power of the shadowed figure. He watched as the pug bravely stepped forward, moving gracefully and purposefully. The pug began to sing a haunting melody, a tune that seemed to echo through the clearing. The shadowed figure shifted its focus toward the pug, its dark form undulating as if entranced by the music. Dave seized the opportunity, moving stealthily toward the ancient crystal. He could feel the presence of the shadowed figure but kept his gaze averted. As his hand closed around the crystal, he felt a surge of triumph and relief. But just as he prepared to retreat, the shadowed figure's attention shifted, its dark gaze fixing on Dave. Panic surged through him, threatening to overcome his resolve. The pug's singing grew more fervent, a barrier of sound that held the shadowed figure at bay. Dave stumbled backward, clutching the ancient crystal tightly. The pug's voice seemed to weaken the creature's grip on him, allowing Dave to retreat to safety. Together, they moved quickly from the eerie clearing, leaving the shadowed figure behind. As they ventured deeper into the misty forest, the pug's singing gradually faded, and the mysterious entity returned to the shadows. Breathing heavily but filled with a sense of accomplishment, Dave and the pug made their way back outside of the foggy forest. The ancient crystal now safely in their possession, they knew that they had overcome a shadowed challenge that few had faced and lived to tell the tale. Chapter 23, A Grateful Farewell. With the ancient crystal safely in his possession, Dave turned to the pug who had been his steadfast companion in the foggy forest. Gratitude filled his heart as he realized the significance of this encounter. Dave offered a sincere and heartfelt thanks to the pug. I can't express how much your help means to me. Without you, I might never have retrieved the ancient crystal. You've been a true friend. The pug wagged their tail in response, their eyes reflecting warmth and understanding. It was my pleasure to assist you on your noble quest. Remember, the foggy forest may hold many mysteries, but it also harbors allies like me. With a nod of appreciation and a promise to never forget this fateful encounter, Dave turned and began his journey toward the Bulldog Kingdom. His friends, Max, Jet, Zeke, Kit, and Argo, were held captive there by the tyrannical King Ben. With the ancient crystal clutched tightly in his hand and determination propelling him forward, Dave set out on the path that would lead him to the heart of the Bulldog Kingdom. The challenges that lay ahead were daunting, but he knew that he carried the hopes of Pugland with him and was prepared to confront King Ben. Chapter 24, The Hidden Crystal. Max, Kit, Zeke, and Jet, our intrepid heroes, found themselves standing before a heavily guarded building within the Bulldog Kingdom. Their mission was clear: locate the ancient crystal rumored to be hidden deep within and free their friends from King Ben's clutches. As they approached the imposing structure, armed Bulldog guards patrolled its perimeter. Max, ever the strategist, devised a plan to infiltrate the building without raising suspicion. Just like at the museum. Kit, with her ingenious gadgets, had prepared a distraction. Zeke was the lookout, and Jet provided his expertise on pug behavior, offering insight into their adversaries. The team executed their plan flawlessly, and while the guards were momentarily distracted by Kit's clever diversion, they slipped into the building undetected. Inside, they found themselves in a dimly lit chamber adorned with ornate decorations. The walls bore the insignia of King Ben, a constant reminder of the Bulldog ruler's oppressive presence. They knew that they had little time before their presence would be discovered. Following a series of secret passages, they finally reached the heart of the guarded building. In the center of a grand hall, atop a pedestal, glistened the coveted ancient crystal, radiating a soft, ethereal glow. Its beauty was breathtaking, a testament to the power it held. Jet couldn't help but marvel at the crystal's magnificence. "This is it," he whispered, "the crystal we've been searching for." Yet, their discovery was not limited to the crystal alone. Nearby, resting on an intricately adorned display, stood a stone staff of considerable size. Upon closer inspection, they noticed that the staff was engraved with an ancient crystal, matching the ones they had sought. Kit's eyes widened with astonishment. "That's not just any staff, it's King Ben's staff. And it holds an ancient crystal too." Max nodded, understanding the significance. If we can secure both the crystal and the staff, we'll have a powerful advantage against King Ben. But we need to be cautious. Retrieving them won't be easy. With a sense of urgency and determination, the team prepared to secure both the ancient crystal and King Ben's staff. They knew that their mission had reached a critical juncture, and the fate of their friends and the future of Pugland rested on their shoulders. Chapter 25, The Great Escape. With the ancient crystal glistening before them and King Ben's staff holding an equally precious gem, Max, Kit, Zeke, and Jet knew they had to act swiftly. Time was against them, and they couldn't afford to be caught within the heavily guarded building. Max, using his strategic prowess, devised a plan. Kit, we need to carefully extract the ancient crystal from King Ben's staff without damaging it. Zeke, keep watch, and Jet, stand ready to assist. Kit, always equipped with ingenious gadgets, carefully examined the staff, looking for a way to release the ancient crystal. After a tense moment, she nodded. I've got it. With steady hands and the precision of an engineer, Kit extracted the ancient crystal from the staff, revealing its radiant beauty. Max secured it safely while Kit placed a replica in the staff, hoping to delay King Ben's discovery of the theft. The team moved with a newfound sense of urgency, knowing that their time was limited. They carefully took the genuine ancient crystal and made their way out of the heavily guarded building, navigating the secret passages with practiced ease. Emerging into the heart of the Bulldog Kingdom, they found themselves in a bustling town square. The bulldogs bustled about, going about their daily routines, oblivious to the heroes in their midst. Suddenly, their eyes met a familiar face amidst the crowd. It was Dave, the pug hero who had embarked on his own quest. His expression lit up with recognition and relief as he saw his friends approach. Dave! Max called out, and the group rushed toward him. Dave beamed with joy. I was starting to worry. Did you find the crystal? Max nodded, presenting the ancient crystal they had retrieved. Not only that, we also have King Ben's staff, which contains another ancient crystal. We need to regroup quickly. As they gathered together, Dave shared his own experiences and the journey that had led him to the Bulldog Kingdom. With the combined knowledge and artifacts they now possessed, they felt more determined than ever to confront King Ben. Their paths had converged at a crucial moment, and as they stood united in the Bulldog Kingdom, the heroes knew that the most challenging part of their quest was yet to come. Chapter 26, The Awakening. With the ancient crystal in their possession, Max, Kit, Zeke, Jet, Dave, and Argo gathered in a hidden chamber within the Bulldog Kingdom. They needed to figure out how to use the 6 crystals they had collected, each holding a unique power, and harness their combined strength to confront King Ben. The room was dimly lit, filled with anticipation and uncertainty. As they examined the crystals, the room suddenly trembled. The crystals began to glow with an otherworldly radiance and floated into the air, swirling in a mesmerizing dance of colors. Everyone watched in awe as one crystal separated from the others and gravitated toward each member of the order. Max received the crystal of strategy, Kit the crystal of invention, Zeke the crystal of strength, Jet the crystal of compassion, Dave the crystal of courage, and Argo the crystal of wisdom. With their newfound powers, they felt an incredible surge of energy coursing through them. Max's strategic mind became sharper than ever, Kit's inventions became more ingenious, Zeke's strength seemed limitless, Jet's compassion could heal, Dave's courage was unwavering. And Argo's wisdom allowed him to see through deception. We've been chosen, Argo said with a sense of awe. These crystals have granted us incredible abilities. Together, we're unstoppable. Their unity and newfound powers were a force to be reckoned with. With a shared determination, they knew they were now ready to face King Ben and bring an end to his tyranny once and for all. Chapter 27, The Journey to Confrontation. As the Order of the Pug made their way towards King Ben's castle, their path winding through the Bulldog Kingdom's rugged terrain. They couldn't help but reflect on the adventures that had led them to this pivotal moment. Max, ever the strategist, thought back to their time in the Mystery Mountains. The treacherous climb, the encounter with the cave monster, and the moment they had retrieved one of the ancient crystals were etched into their memories. He knew that their experiences had forged their bonds and made them stronger. Kit, her inventive mind constantly at work, remembered their journey through the Icelands. The freezing temperatures, the encounter with the formidable Yeti, and the ultimate triumph of obtaining another crystal played through her thoughts. Her inventions had been their salvation in that icy landscape. Zeke, with his newfound strength, reminisced about their visit to Capicho village. The warmth of the village's residents, the search for the crystal in the museum, and the daring heist they had pulled off were stories they would carry with them forever. He felt a sense of invincibility with his enhanced abilities. Jet, whose compassion had the power to heal, thought about the times they had helped others in Pugland. Whether it was consoling a distressed pug or aiding a struggling creature, their acts of kindness had left an indelible mark. He believed in the power of their unity. Dave, their courageous pug friend, recalled his adventures in the foggy forest. The encounter with the enigmatic figure, the discovery of the ancient crystal, and his newfound connection with the pug who had guided him remained fresh in his mind. His courage had been tested, and he had emerged stronger. Argo, the wise pug who had once ruled Pugland, remembered the days of his leadership and the moment when King Ben had seized power. His wisdom had guided them through countless challenges, and he believed that their combined strength could overcome any obstacle. As they approached King Ben's castle, their hearts filled with determination and resolve. They knew they had come a long way, and their experiences had prepared them for this confrontation. Finally, they stood before King Ben, who wore a sinister smile. "You've come to challenge me," he said, his voice dripping with malice. Max stepped forward, a confident gleam in his eye. "We've come to end your tyranny and return Argo to the throne." King Ben's smile widened. "Ah, but what you don't know is that I possess dark magic, a power beyond your comprehension. Even without the crystals, you are no match for me." The confrontation had begun, and the Order of the Pug faced a formidable adversary, unaware of the dark magic that King Ben would unleash in their final battle. Chapter 28, The Epic Confrontation. The chamber in King Ben's castle was charged with tension as the Order of the Pug faced their nemesis. With their newly acquired powers from the ancient crystals, they believed they had the strength to defeat King Ben, but the malevolent bulldog had an ace up his sleeve: dark magic. Max, Kit, Zeke, Jet, Dave, and Argo stood in a circle, each holding their respective crystal. Their eyes glowed with determination as they channeled their powers, ready to unleash them against King Ben. "Prepare yourselves," Max commanded. "We must work together and stay focused." In unison, they launched a barrage of attacks, their combined abilities creating a dazzling display of light, fire, strength, compassion, courage, and wisdom. For a moment, it seemed as if they might overpower King Ben. But then, with a malevolent grin, King Ben tapped into his dark magic. Shadows enveloped him as he countered their assault with a surge of dark energy that sent shockwaves through the chamber. The very walls of the castle seemed to tremble. Suddenly, King Ben summoned his loyal guards, a group of fierce bulldogs, to his side. They charged into battle, adding to the chaos. The Order fought valiantly, using their powers to fend off the guards, but King Ben's dark magic proved overwhelming. One by one, their attacks began to weaken, and exhaustion set in. King Ben's power seemed boundless, and the Order found themselves on the brink of defeat. As the battle raged on, King Ben's laughter echoed through the chamber. "You can't defeat me," he taunted. "My dark magic is unstoppable." Despite their unwavering determination, the Order of the Pug found themselves in a dire situation. King Ben's power was formidable, and it seemed that victory was slipping further from their grasp. Chapter 29, Triumph of the Pugland. Amidst the chaos and darkness that had engulfed the chamber, hope flickered within the hearts of the Order of the Pug. Despite the overwhelming power of King Ben's dark magic, they refused to yield. Max, drawing upon his strategic mind, quickly devised a plan. He communicated their strategy to his companions, and they rallied their remaining strength for one final, desperate assault. In a synchronized burst of power, they unleashed their abilities, each crystal glowing brilliantly. Max's strategic prowess guided their attacks, directing the energy with precision. Kit's inventions produced dazzling gadgets that countered King Ben's dark spells. Zeke's newfound strength surged as he defended the group from the advancing guards. Jet's compassion flowed, healing his comrades and restoring their vigor. Dave's courage blazed like a beacon, inspiring his friends to stand firm. Argo's wisdom discerned the weakness in King Ben's dark magic, allowing them to exploit it. Their combined force created a dazzling display of light and energy, pushing back King Ben and his guards. The chamber resounded with a cacophony of clashing powers and roaring winds. King Ben, unable to maintain his dark magic against their united front, faltered. The shadows that had shrouded him began to dissipate, revealing him. He was no longer an invincible tyrant but a bulldog consumed by his own malevolence. With one final, mighty effort, the Order directed their energies towards King Ben. His dark magic shattered, and he was cast back. I promise, this isn't the end of me. And with that him and his bulldog army ran away. The chamber fell into a tense silence as King Ben left, his reign of tyranny at an end. The Order of the Pug sat there triumphant. The Order knew that the battle was won, but the challenges of rebuilding and healing their beloved Pugland lay ahead. With their powers and unity, they would work tirelessly to restore peace, compassion, and harmony to their homeland. As they exited the castle, the sun broke through the clouds, bathing Pugland in a warm, golden light. It was a new beginning, and Pugland's future was filled with hope. Chapter 30, Farewell. With the defeat of King Ben and the restoration of peace to Pugland, the Order of the Pug left the castle behind, their hearts lighter than they had been in a long time. They had triumphed over darkness, and now it was time to return to their town, where the Order's base stood as a symbol of their unity. As they reached the town, a shimmering portal awaited, a testament to the unique bond that had formed between Jet and Zeke, two boys from another world who had become heroes in Pugland. Argo, the wise pug who had guided them through their adventures, looked at them with a mixture of pride and sadness. "It was fun while it lasted," he said, his tail wagging gently. "I'm going to miss you all." Tears welled up in Zeke's eyes as he hugged Argo tightly. "You're the best friend I could ever have," he whispered. Jet, equally emotional, patted Argo's head. "You taught us so much, Argo. Pugland will always hold a special place in our hearts." The other pugs and creatures of Pugland gathered around, their eyes filled with gratitude. Kit, Max, and Dave exchanged heartfelt farewells, knowing that they had forged lifelong connections. As the moment of departure neared, Jet and Zeke walked towards the portal. It was time to say goodbye to their extraordinary adventure in Pugland. Zeke turned to his friends, his voice choked with emotion. "It was an incredible journey, and I'll never forget it. Thank you all for everything." Jet nodded, his voice equally emotional. "Pugland will always be a part of us. We'll never forget the friends we've made here." With a final wave and smiles that conveyed their gratitude, Jet and Zeke stepped into the portal. It shimmered and closed behind them, leaving Pugland behind. Argo, the pugs, and all the creatures of Pugland watched the portal vanish, knowing that they had been part of an unforgettable adventure and had made friends they would cherish forever. Prologue, a new playdate. It had been a few weeks since Jet and Zeke's extraordinary adventure in Pugland. The two friends had returned to their ordinary lives, but the memories of their time in the magical world still lingered in their minds. One sunny afternoon, Jet and Zeke were having another playdate at Zeke's house. They sat on the floor, engrossed in a Nintendo game, their laughter filling the room as they navigated virtual worlds together. As they played, Jet couldn't help but feel a sense of nostalgia for the pugs and creatures they had met, the adventures they had shared, and the bonds they had formed in Pugland. Finally, Jet couldn't contain his excitement any longer. He turned to Zeke and said, "Hey Zeke, I've been thinking. We're going back to Pugland, right?" Zeke grinned, his eyes lighting up with enthusiasm. "Definitely. To be continued."